Thank you for joining today, Sangat Ji, to this weekly Sangat of the Divine Light Discourse, where we all travel together as one family and swim in this vast ocean of the divine. This week, we're preparing for something special. We're awaiting and preparing to celebrate the coming of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. This Tuesday will be the anniversary that Guru Nanak Dev Ji took light in this world. As the scriptures state, Suni pukar datar prabh, Guru Nanak jag mahe pathaya. Hearing the cries of this world, hearing about those that were suffering from the plundering of Maya, those that were suffering because of ego, this chronic disease of ego, and this illusion that engulfs the world, Guru Nanak Dev Ji emerged as light into this world, into this universe. And it's the same one light of Guru Nanak that today gives us purpose. Without Guru Nanak Dev Ji, for us there's no reality. There is no life worth living. There's no object worthy of devotion other than Guru Nanak. Today I would like to focus on the loving message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji and how our lost souls can live within the divine's will and realize the divine here and now. Just now, we were joined in the beautiful meditation of the Mool Mantra by Dr. Harvinder Singh and his family, Anjali Kaur and Anchal Kaur, beautifully led us in the meditation of Mool Mantra. The Mool Mantra was the first revelation of Guru Nanak. It is the foundation, the essence, the reality of our spiritual journey. The Mool Mantra is the divine describing themselves, describing their characteristics, their attributes, and what we can also adopt in our lives to experience the One. For Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message was clear. This was a message of oneness. The Mool Mantra starts not with a word, not with a letter, but the number one. By starting with the number one, Ik, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has emphasized the importance and purpose of our spiritual practice and our overall destination. From the one we have come, and to the one we will return. Our purpose is to unite with the one. Our purpose is to feel, live, breathe, experience the one. Anything we do, our meditations, our manifestations, our prayers, all of our worries, everything we put to the one and none other. There is no other reality other than the one. And because there's no other reality other than the one, then everything and everyone is all one. We are all one. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji sings, Sahib mera eko hai pai eko hai. My divine is the one, only the one, only the one. Guru Nanak Dev Ji sings. For Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the divine was not a theory. The divine is reality. This one singular exists throughout creation. And it's this one reality that we can experience in the here and now and within us. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was often challenged by many. They didn't engage in idol worship. They didn't conform to the norms of the time. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was criticized often for singing to the one divine that was beyond form, beyond color, beyond hate, was timeless, is timeless. But for Guru Nanak Dev Ji, there was one truth. And for Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the whole universe was meditating on this one truth. Kaisi aarti hoye, pav khandana teri aarti, anhatta sabad vajant peri. Whom am I to show devotion to? What devotion am I meant to show? Look around, this whole universe is in devotion to the divine. And the divine Shabad flows through all creation, throughout the whole universe. This divine Shabad is vibrating in each and every one of us. Wherever I look, I see devotion to the divine. To whom should I show this devotion? This is the one reality that has always been true. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us, the divine is Aad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai Bhi Sach, Nanak Hosi Bhi Sach. This divine reality was true in the beginning. This divine reality was true throughout the ages, is true now, and Guru Nanak's message, that constant divine reality will always be true. But blinded by our own perceptions of duality, our weakened vision that sees the creation as real but not the creator, our intellect worships the creation but not the creator. We spend many times dancing around the creation to the tune of the world. We spend so much time fulfilling the urges of this body, of this mind, but without paying attention to the thirst of our soul. It's this suffering, it's this life of suffering, hearing the cries of this world, and this suffering pandemic of self-centeredness, this ego, this I-ness, that Guru Nanak Dev Ji emerged in this world to heal. They took a light to heal. Last week, Dr. Harmeet Singh spoke about the importance of a true Guru, the importance of how the Guru removes our ignorance, takes us from a place of darkness to light, and that without the Guru, the divine cannot be found. What was Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message about the true Guru? The true Guru and the divine are one and the same. There's no difference between the true Guru and the divine. So therefore for us, there's no difference between Guru Nanak and the divine. The eternal creator is formless. But when they manifest themselves in a divine form, that form takes the appearance of a true teacher, a true Guru. So in this way, there's no difference between the divine and the Guru. But let's try and understand this through a limited explanation, just to try and imagine this, the subtle difference, if there is one. Imagine the Guru as the front door of your home, and the divine as the house, your home itself. The only way we'll get into our home is if we go through the door of the Guru. No one else holds the keys to the door of the divine other than the Guru. In reality, just as the only way into our home is through the front door, the only way to the divine is through the Guru itself. So no one would ever argue that the front door of your home is not a part of your house. In the same way, there's no difference between the Guru and the divine. They're one and the same. Without the Guru, we don't know our way home. And without the Guru, there's no way into our home. No matter how much we might try and climb the walls, get in through the windows, the only way, the easiest way, is through the divine Guru and following the divine message of the Guru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji speaks to us to find that reality, that divine reality, in order to return home. What message does Guru Nanak give in order to find this divine reality? The first is the Shabad. The Shabad is the focus of all our teachings, the teachings that come from authentic scriptures, the path of the true masters. Whatever your faith tradition is, wherever your belief lies, the teachings of those authentic scriptures, those authentic souls, is the Shabad. The scriptures and the beautiful voice of the divine that passes through these scriptures and passes through this wandering mind. Those scriptures, that voice that clears our doubts, is what we refer to as the Shabad. And for Sikhs, the Shabad has always been referred to as the true Guru. The Guru is not a physical body. It is the voice of the divine. It's the message of the divine. From the Shabad, we've all emerged. From that one vibration, from silence came sound. And that sound vibration is the Shabad. And through that sound vibration, we all come together. And through that sound vibration, with our meditation, we will join back once again with the divine. It's the sound, it's that Shabad vibration that is constant throughout this universe. Wherever Shabad we listen to, whatever part of your scripture that you listen to, treat that as the divine's commandment, the divine's order. By living by these commandments, we find the divine. Otherwise, we just live in that state of confusion, that state of madness. As Guru Granth Sahib Ji informs us, Sabad Gur Pira Gahar Gambira Bin Sabde Jag Boran. The Shabad is the Guru, and its depth cannot be found. And without that Shabad, we live in that total darkness, that total madness. So the Shabad is the Guru, the Shabad is the divine, and it's through the Shabad, the commandments, that we find the divine in our life. The second point of emphasis that Guru Nanak Dev Ji makes is on the Sadh Sangat. Find those souls that have traveled this path and meditate with them. Follow the teachings and examples that they set. In the Sadh Sangat, see how they interpret and act upon the divine order or the commandments of the divine. See how it's understood. Because in the Sadh Sangat, it's where the secrets of the scriptures, the secrets of the divine are revealed. Following the path of our scriptures, by focusing on these beautiful messages and obeying these commandments, we arrive back at the door of the divine. And when that door opens, when the Guru opens that door, we arrive back home. In the Sadh Sangat, we can find ways to live in harmony with the divine. In the Sadh Sangat, we find that inspiration to help us in our process of change, that spiritual change. Whatever change we make in our life, Guru Nanak Dev Ji has informed us happens through the mind and the mind itself. Guruji has told us that whatever we put in the mind, whatever influences our mind becomes our reality. And last week we spoke about perception. So whatever perception we allow to influence our mind becomes us. And wherever we write on our soul, whatever travels with our soul from one journey to the other, are all the things that are being stored in this mind house. It's through the occupation of the mind that the divine is found in the present moment. And this is why Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, the business is with our mind and our mind alone. Gur Sabha ev na paiye, na nede na dur, Nanak Satguru Tamile, Jan man rahe hadur. The home of the Guru is found when we bring the Guru into our contemplation, into our mind, and into our present. It's not something that will happen on its own. When the mind comes into the present, that's when we begin our process of change. We often see many spiritualists reciting mantra upon mantra. They'll perform bodily actions and all sorts of services. The temples are full, the bells are ringing, the donations are flooding in, but our awareness of the divine is not increased. The reason for this is because our mind is not involved in that devotion of the divine. Our mind is not involved in the act that we're doing. And until the mind comes to rest in the action, accepts the action it's doing, we'll still live in that state of duality. Where there's any duality, where there's any sense of I, there will be no realization. Where our ears are still tuned by the songs of the world, we will not hear the divine music within us, regardless of what manifestations we might make, or what we think we're doing. The mind has to be involved in the action. Guru Nanak Dev Ji said this is a journey of the mind, and it's about adopting the characteristics of the divine and allowing your mind to shine in those characteristics, changing the focus of the mind and what it thinks about. Many a time we see many people, many spiritualists, they'll meditate, they'll read the prayers, they'll read the scriptures, and then the rest of the day just goes in total chaos because the mind is in total chaos and the mind has not been involved in the action that they've been doing. So what is the process of bringing our mind into the present and realizing the divine in the here and now? Guru Nanak Dev Ji has told us this understanding comes when we follow the divine commandments or order known as Hukam. No other efforts born from our self-gratification, no other efforts born from our ego will lead us to the divine. As Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us in Japji Sahib, Hukam rajai chalna, Nanak likhya naal. Surrender this mind to the divine, surrender this mind to the natural order, and that divine understanding will come. Our duality meaning where we see this creation as something separate to the divine, where we see ourselves as being something separate to the divine. When that duality leaves us, all that is left is the one. If we look at all great traditions, they've all provided a direction and interpretation in order to explain this natural order or hukam. Buddha gave his disciples the 8 commandments. Jews and Christians live by the 10 commandments. These commandments are the pillars of our divinity. They are the foundations of our spiritual growth. By living by these commandments, we are all living in the Shabad. And those that live by these commandments, they die and then are reborn in the very same realization of the Shabad. They go through this process of change where the Maya mind dies and the divine mind lives. When we examine the Guru Granth Sahib, we see that Guru Nanak Dev Ji too identifies 9 key specific characteristics of the Hukam. These 9 commandments or orders focus this mind of the true seeker into experiencing the divine path and union here and now. So living in the Hukam, living in this command, means living within the virtues of the divine. Experiencing these virtues of the divine, and everything happens, everything we do is in line with these virtues of the divine, and that is living in Hukam. Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Japji Sahib sings this: Jat pahara teerat sunyar, Aaron mat ved hathyar, Pao khala agan taptao, Panda pao amrit titatal, Kadiye sabad sachi taksal, Jinko nadar karam tinkar, Nanak nadari nadar nihal. The literal translation of this body, this stanza is like this. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is telling us, let self-control be the furnace and patience the goldsmith. Let understanding be the anvil and spiritual wisdom your tools. And with the fear of God as your bellow, fan the flames of this body. In the crucible of love, melt the divine name. And in this way, mint the coin of the Shabad. Such is the karam, the karma of those who the divine shows this grace. Nanak says, the divine with their grace uplifts the soul. What is Guru Nanak Dev Ji telling us here? They use the imagery of turning metal and gold into a coin, into money, into currency. The process of first molding that metal, then recreating it, shaping it so it can be used as a coin, has a purpose. To explain to the seeker that this is what the divine order is and what the process of what we have to go, the process of change and transformation that we need to go in order to have a purpose. And just like that piece of metal has to go through that process of change, we have to go through that process of change. Just like that metal is beaten with one hand and fashioned with another, so does our Maya mind, our Maya-orientated mind, need to be shaped to the image of the divine. So let us examine these commandments of Guru Nanak. The first commandment that Guru Nanak gives us is Jat, which means self-restraint, restraining the self. For Guru Nanak Dev Ji, this is the first and main attribute. It's to restrain the mind from wandering in the play of Maya. So Maya means anything that takes us away from the divine, the illusion. And through this self-restraint, we find our freedom. Don't be confused. This is not the restraint of the body. This is not torturing your body endlessly. This is not putting your body in silence, in hunger, subjecting it to heat. This is not putting your body into all sorts of actions or practices. This is not putting your mind to do things out of stubbornness. This is the path of changing the mind. This is the choosing the divine each and every time. The first commandment is to get our spiritual attribute right. Guard your words, guard your thoughts, guard your mouth, guard your actions. This is moving away from our self-gratifications and restraining what influences us. We have so much potential, but we lose it instantly in the hot winds of Maya. We might do our meditations, but straight away we start slandering someone. We start letting those thoughts come into our mind. But that reality, that realization will start come to us when even the subtlest form of Maya is rejected by our mind. Controlling our dominant thoughts and perceptions, those thoughts will then create our self-restraint of the mind. And once the mind is ready to accept these teachings of the divine, when we manage to self-restrain our mind, we then move to the second commandment, Dheeraj, or patience. Guru Nanak Dev Ji is telling us to have that mental balance and stability. And the true seekers of the divine have that one thing in common. They embrace such a high level of emotional intelligence. In accepting the order of the divine, they accept everything to be a divine moment. Every interaction is a divine moment. They remain the same in success or adversity. And we saw this very often with Baba Jaswant Singh Ji, who was the inspiration behind all of these discourses. Despite their physical pains, despite their ailments, they always were in high spirits. Confined to a wheelchair for 13, 14 hours a day, yet they would still intend everybody with love, like they're the only one in the world. Every interaction is a divine moment. Accepting the divine order, accepting this will, means being calm and balanced in every situation. Doesn't matter what opposes you. And this is something we aspire to. Dheeraj or patience is the product that comes when we retrain and restrain this wandering thought. When we retrain and restrain this mind. The true seeker's hunger is quenched when it follows this natural order of the divine. The third commandment referenced by Guru Nanak is Aranamat, which means let your understanding be like the anvil. The anvil is beaten and it holds the metal in shape. And this, Sangat Ji, is what Guru Nanak Dev Ji is telling us that our mind should be like. It doesn't matter what is beaten with, it remains disciplined within these virtues. It remains disciplined within the practice of self-restraint. It remains disciplined in patience. And it doesn't allow anything to take that peace away from it. Regardless of what attacks the mind, the spiritualist will always accept that hardship. The spiritualist will always remain in that bliss of the divine. When Maya and the 5 thieves plunder us, that anvil-like mind absorbed in the Shabad holds the divine shape. And then our awakening starts. When we start rejecting this Maya existence, when we hold fast true to those characteristics of the divine, that's when our meditation, our awakening really starts. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, then focus on your spiritual tools. Ved Hatihar. What spiritual tools is Guru Nanak Dev Ji telling us? In the next lines, Guru Nanak Dev Ji elaborate. The first is the fear of God, the fear of the divine. Don't get this mistaken. The fear of the divine, the fear of God, is not the fear of the wrath of God. God is not a vengeful God. The divine is not vengeful. Whoever comes in the divine's court is protected. But this is when you're so drunk in the love of the divine, you do not want that experience to end. Not even for a second. To lose that experience for a second is a life not worth living. To know that you've hurt the person that you love is a life not worth living. And that's the fear that the spiritualists live in. This is to live by the divine and do anything and everything that pleases the divine. Then the next commandment, fan the flames of the inner heat. In this path of love, in this path of the divine, the only way we really experience this pure love, the only way we really show this pure love is through that self-annihilation. The I has to go. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji has described this as the inner heat. Those inner urges of the body, the anger, the greed, the lust, the attachment, the pride, the self-centeredness, the jealousies. These winds of Maya that are within us, that make us only think of our body and our worldly needs, need to be fanned and cooled with the love of the divine and the practice of the Shabad. And then divine love is the next commandment that Guru Nanak Dev Ji tells us to live by. It's through the commandment of love that we find the divine. Saach kaho sun leo subeh jin prem kiyo din hi prab paayo. The 10th Master, Guru Gobind Singh, says, there's one truth in reality, that only those that have loved the divine have found the divine. The greatest spiritual tool of all is that of love. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji has said that this is a path of the lovers. And through that innocent divine love, that innocent thirst of the divine, we find the divine in our reality, in the here and now. So what brings us to this love? Guruji says, Shabad. Kadgiya Sabad Sachi Taksal. Meditate on that Shabad, in that school, in that Sad Sangat. Taksal. By focusing on that daily spiritual practice, by focusing on that daily practice of love, our daily meditations, where our purpose is to focus on the divine, whilst we consciously correct our character, when we always think each and every second, are we walking in a divine moment or not? Are we responding in a divine way or not? Are we responding like the spiritualists, the Satsangat, tell us to or not? This is when we're walking on the path of divine love. And how do we know that we're walking on the path of divine love? When again, our mind automatically rejects all of these things of the illusion. When the mind favors compassion, when the mind favors forgiveness, when the mind favors tolerance, consider this, that you have the blessings of the divine. Otherwise, our path hasn't started. These are all the efforts that we might make in our limited manner. But the last commandment Guru Nanak Dev Ji gives us says that all of this is only possible with the grace and blessings of the divine. When they bless us with meditation, we meditate. When the divine blesses us by opening their door, only then can we walk through. All the meditations, all the manifestations, everything we do is to get us to that point, to that door of the divine, for that grace to open, so we can unite with the divine that's within us. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message is that our whole process of finding union with the divine involves reorientating and restructuring this mind. So it compares the traits and characteristics of the mind and the divine as the same. It's a whole process of changing that metal coin. But this realization only comes with the blessings of the divine. Everything we do, all effort we put in, is in a search for this one blessing, so we can get to that door of the divine and return back home. And with these messages, I beg forgiveness and wish everybody a happy Gurpurab for this week. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.